Good morning.
Morning.
Here we are.
I'm sharing it.
You tuned in to the frequency of Soulful Illumination. Join your host, the Lady of Laughter and Light, Nicole Borghi. She guides you on a journey of spiritual ascension through energetic frequency. Nicole is a crystal Reiki master, psychic medium, and soulful coach, providing you with the tools to transform into an awakened heart. Strap on your jetpack and prepare to soar with your guardian angels and spirit guides through the cosmos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another Thursday with Soulful Illumination on the 13th. Welcome. It is another Thursday with one too many things popping up. I am going to get this yet. It has been a journey, and thank you for tuning in. I am your enchantress, Nicole, just here to lighten your load, enlighten your space. And I am so glad to be here. And thank you for tuning in live again today. We're coming at you from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm somewhere in a bunker down below. I can't tell you where. I'm near Area 51. And so, hey, to all those out in the cosmos, I love you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the tribe. You know, this is live. So if you're watching on a replay, we are live every Thursday at 9 a.m. And I want to go ahead and introduce you to my friend here, guest host, Selina Renee. Hello, Selina.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
It is always a pleasure to have you. We were just having a chat about energy and energy work and being on the planet right now. You know, what's it like being on the planet right now? How is it feeling the vibrations, feeling the changes, transforming the divinity of the divine female? And, you know, for me, I am just soaring and my body is just vibrating. It is all over the place in energy form. And it's just lifting me up and floating. Selina, how is it for you?
It's a lot different for me, actually. I can definitely feel the energy. I'm just sharing this, sorry. I can definitely feel the energy coursing through my body. But with that energy, I definitely feel a lot of healing coming through. There's a lot of shadows popping up for people.
Yeah, there is a lot to clean up. So the skeletons in our closet are kind of coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's bringing up that last, for some of us, that last little bit, and for many of us, for the first time, it's kind of shaking us and saying, "Hey, you haven't been paying attention."
Right.
The world's changing, the energy's changing. It's time to work on you.
There's never a last little bit, though.
There's that last, yeah.
There's never that last little bit.
Oh, well, no, it's continual work. I get you. It's just, but for this purpose, for this moment, it's that I kind of feel like my clients, the beautiful clients that I've talked to, especially in this last week, have just had that little remainder of something that they're ready to release and that they're willing to release. But it's just that last little bit that needs to kind of separate and be let go of, and just finding, helping them find in their journey the ability to release that so they can move and level up from that. What about you?
I do things much differently than you. Rather than letting go, yeah. Rather than letting go, rather than separating myself from these aspects of myself that can keep me feeling stuck, I just turn around and move towards it.
Okay.
And integrate it and realize that they are a part of me. And as a part of me, I can't separate myself from a part of myself, because that's the whole reason that we're in the state of the world as we are currently, is because we continually separate ourselves from the parts of ourselves that we no longer see as good.
But for me, it's kind of in that separation, in that sense of being able to see it and recognize it, what it is, what you're working on, right? And still in that old thought form is kind of like that separation or cord cutting and letting go of that. But even kind of releasing the tentacles of what we're because we have to be engaged, and we are connected very much to our family and our friends, or to our work.
Mm-hmm.
And we do kind of stream, in a sense, the energies to that we're connected. And sometimes we need to bring a little bit back, so we're not kind of allowing them to constantly feed off of us.
True.
But we have that safety, or in kind of this third dimension, kind of those boundaries, where people are kind of crossing the line and pushing you into something that you're not ready to move into, or pushing you into something that's not necessarily right for you, or making that decision for you. And so we, in this third dimension where we establish the boundaries, but when you're looking at your bodies, your auric field, or your chakras, or even your etheric body, and that out there, we have that streamlined connection, and those waves that we have, that energy that gets released to others.
Yeah. Do you feel that I don't know, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. We'll come back. It's
Well,
a
I was
weird
just gonna
energy
say,
day. Yeah.
it's kind of like, so I've been really studying on the Hermetic principles. So I'm very like, as within, so without. So if you're having challenging moments in the external world, so it's like automatically assuming that the challenges you get are coming from without.
Okay.
Rather than reflecting from what's going on within.
Right.
So if you have those connections and those understandings within you, and those understandings within self as to why self-sabotage occurs, or as to why you don't necessarily feel comfortable stepping into your power.
Okay.
And those things start to manifest on the outside, where you are having your power stripped away, say from a boss, or say from a partner.
Right.
It is very possible that if you resolve the issues within self, between those different aspects, that the universe has no choice other than to reflect that same resolve in your external.
Mm-hmm. But it's continuous. It's all of us, right?
It's continuous, yes.
It's continuous in the thought forms, in the energy, because energy is everywhere. It's how we utilize and kind of, in a sense, manipulate it, because when you work with energy, you're kind of molding that energy and structuring it, and kind of giving it the creation of that point in time, which is now for the person that you're working with, or working with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that type of kind of mode, where those energies when you're utilizing those energies in a continuous form, and you're working it from within, and you're working it, and it's kind of moving, and it's a continuum, and it's constantly revolving and going out to other spheres or other beings or other people, because you're sharing it with other people. And so that whatever you don't take care of inside, you're still emulating that out.
Exactly.
And so whether you're in a low thought form or you're in a higher thought form, it's going to emulate out. And so it's really dependent upon you to care for that and nourish that thought form or that energy. And so you can heal, and so you can even heal the disease. And it's bizarre, but fantastic right now. I think for me, it's kind of like a carnival ride, where you're in the roller coaster, you're going up and down, and you're going high and a release back, and the energies, it's fun and scary kind of to me at the same time. It's something that I've lived personally, day to day, kind of going through the dimensions or seeing the portals and working with that. And what we were talking about before was the ability that we could see it and work with it, but some other people and it kind of experience it, but other people have never been able to do that or realized what that feeling was. And it's great for me because people can experience it with me. And it's awesome to me. What is it like for you seeing other people going through the experience of this? I know it's scary right now, but other people kind of experiencing it for the first time.
What do you mean? I don't interfere.
They're experiencing, they're experiencing it with you now, the energies and the changes. People are more open, and some unwillingly. But let's go with the people that are on the willing side of that, this change, of this up leveling, of this going into the 5th and the 7th dimension, of being aware of their energies always around them. How does it feel for you in that sense that other people are open to that now?
It's awesome. I mean, it's great to be open to it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean, how it is for me.
How is it for you to see, kind of like when your children find something for the first time and they explore, and they smell a rose, they touch
I understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
But how is it supposed to be? Like, I'm happy for them, but it doesn't reflect on me.
It doesn't?
Barely.
You don't think that it reflects on you because of the work that you've been doing already?
Well, I do my work, and as I'm doing my work, it ripples out into the universe. But I'm doing my work. It doesn't reflect on me in an egoic way. So I don't take credit for it. I'm happy for people. If they need assistance, I help guide them.
Right. But I mean, for me, I feel that it's a beautiful thing to watch other people awaken to this.
Yeah.
And be part and watch them in that journey.
Right. But you're just there to witness.
Absolutely. Not being the witness of these people witnessing, the witnesser of the witness. Right. These people are seeing this, some for the first time, or some being able to accept it.
Yeah.
Because
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's great. But then again, we're still in this dimension, in this reality, which is a reality of duality and polarity. So I know with awakening comes the other side.
Right.
So it's not good and it's not bad. It's just what is.
Right. is it, how can we help people with this time right now in helping them? Do you feel that kind of shift, or assisting them to shift into these energies and be
I
able
think the
to
best way
work
to help
with?
somebody is to just lead by example.
Right.
Continuing our daily practice, continuing to be self-aware in our daily lives.
Absolutely, because every time we change our energy, it changes the world.
Yeah.
I think it's such a marvelous thing, I think, to be part of this and to be awakening. And maybe it's just more, sometimes I know for me, sometimes it's just my awakening. And I just want people to share in that. And that's why I do this, because to be a part of that. And it's, I want to stand on the mountain and scream it to everybody, which makes me feel great. But I also want other people to know that we're there for them. Mm-hmm. This is why I come in this platform, to share with others the possibilities, or the help, or the ability to kind of navigate through the energy in a sense.
Right.
And share, what the possibilities are, and how you can kind of rise up in your own way, and to work with people and share with them.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Share with them the ability. I know for me, a lot lately, I've been able to just kind of walk around and just feel the movement of the energy, just really feel like it was tangible. Mm-hmm. Not just here in my, where I know it's here and I know it exists and I can see it, but now I can feel it. And I can feel that the change or the shift. And it's a lot, it's quicker. It's coming faster. And that's also my personal evolvement as well.
Right.
But being able to awaken and arise to that, and work with that, and see others, to witness with others, and to be kind of the conduit in a sense for helping them be ease with that when I'm there, to if they need that, to hold their hand and give them that support and feel it. Because sometimes, when you're together and there's two of you or there's multiples of you teaching the class or walking around or in a group, it is amazing because you can share with them. You're able to be that support, to share with them that moment of that uplift.
Yeah, definitely.
What has them. Yeah. What has it been like for you, this moment, or has it been this moment you knew, okay, it's coming, I'm here? Right.
It's kind of led up to it all summer. I've just been feeling this, something big is coming, So in that, your mind sort of goes crazy and like, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? But then just surrendering to it and then allowing myself to go through it. Right now, I'm being called to just go within, rest, not put so much energy out, so that I can allow the things that are coming in to integrate into my body physically.
Okay. Have you seen, for me, there's been a lot of travel, or kind of like more of a astral travel, or a lot of being able to have some out-of-body experience, even just for a second. And a lot of the ability to just detach in a sense and watch my body go through this change, and just witnessing. and just being able to transport. Do you do astral travel, or do you do a lot of dream state changing, or what do you
I do a lot of dream state. As far as astral travel, I don't know if being able to separate self from physical and going into an observer mode is necessarily astral traveling. But well, like I was telling you, as far as astral travel, I don't have the intention of achieving that in my current space. And because well, I guess I'll just say everything I said earlier. But because I'm here in this physical reality, in this third dimension, in this current time period, my soul has chosen to come down into this dimension, to be in this dimension. And while my objective is to bring in the higher dimensions and hold them and anchor them into this dimension, this reality, I also need to learn how to be present in this reality. So astral travel is not my current focus, I guess I should say. Does that make sense to you?
No, it makes that makes absolute sense to me. And we had discussed that earlier, but I appreciate you bringing that up publicly, because I think it's important for people to understand that although some of us go to achieve certain out of body experiences, some of us do. And I know for certain family members too, they have to be within their body and they have to be here and now.
Yes.
And I'm, for them, what I've witnessed is to just be kind of a foundation and a placeholder, not to rescue, not to be the survivor of the circumstance, but to be the placeholder to share with them the ability to recognize and be part of this instant right now, this moment here, this moment now is very precious. And I believe, to me, it's very important for people to feel their vast emotions, to feel, even if it's anger or if it's sadness, to be able to cry in that moment. I know for me, for a long time, I couldn't cry. And you know that, having worked with me before, it's just, it's very much a thing for me to kind of be just stoic and just kind of, it's my personal, what I think a lot of people didn't, oh, well, she can't cry or she's just not emotional. But to me, it was very private. And to me, it's very my moment. And that is my experience that I want to have. But there are certain times, also that if you're in that point and that time and feeling that emotion and you're even crying, sometimes it's good to share it with someone.
Yeah.
Because they can feel into your emotion empathically, and maybe even they're feeling that moment as well. And
it's like people in our generation, I suppose. It was a time period where both parents started going back to work, right? Yeah. So there's nobody there. And not saying that our parents are awful. Like, they did the best they could with what they had and what they knew.
Right.
But because it's the mother who nurtures in the emotional moments, and they are not available or are so stressed that they are not able to receive our energy in that moment of having those emotions.
Right.
We're taught that in order to be received and accepted, we have to keep our emotions to ourselves. Right. And so in that, what heals that is experiencing the opposite and having somebody there who is present with you, who can validate you in your emotion because it's valid. All of your emotions are valid. They may not reflect the truth necessarily, but they're valid. And just to be received without judgment, without shame, without the, oh my God, hurry up, I have to go to work,
Yes. Yes.
just without that energy is healing in itself. So you don't necessarily have to go so deep into the root, although it's helpful to do so.
Absolutely.
Even like in the beginning steps of your healing, it's just to be in that space with somebody who can receive you without that judgment or without that shame is just so empowering for you to see that if you are having these emotions that are labeled not good or negative, that doesn't make you not good or negative. It makes you human.
It does.
Which a lot of us don't want to be. But we are.
We are. We are.
And we might as well master being human if we don't want to come back and do it again.
Not this lifetime, right? It's kind of like sometimes you feel like you're in detention in this body, in this time. You're like, staying after school with all the bad kids.
Yeah.
and I know that firsthand because, man, I was good at getting detention.
I was good at flying under the radar.
Not me. I didn't care. Yeah, give me detention, rocking. I got points. Yeah, it was cool kid points. But when you're looking at that in the sadness, I know for me, it's not only do you know in that moment whether you're sad or angry and you cry and who stays your friend and doesn't just be like, oh, it's okay, pat you on the head, yeah, whatever, you're gonna get over it, tomorrow's a new day, right? But just for me, it was having experienced other people just crying all the time, crying to get out of a situation, crying because they wanted to pretend that they were vulnerable when they weren't. Trying to manipulate the situation and other people around them, trying to manipulate a spouse or manipulate into the sense of, oh, I feel so bad for you. No problem. I'll let you stomp all over me and pretend I'm the doormat.
Yeah.
And that was the point of that. Because when I was little and if I cried, I was either made fun of, told that it didn't matter, or that you having witnessed other people, and that just kept it inside. And that's another thing with your emotions, especially when you see other people and you experience your experience. What is that? What is that of other people? What is that their experience, how true is their experience? And so how true can you be yourself?
How true is their experience? What do you mean?
Because I grew up with a lot of people that had some mental issues, and I talk about it all the time. And in that manipulation and in that being that was that at that time, I didn't feel that crying was their truth. Right. It was a form of manipulation at the time to get what they wanted. So thinking that as I grew up, oh, that's just what women do to get what they want.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Yeah. They do. This is true. And I know a few still, but that's, but I didn't feel that it was for me a freeing thing.
Yeah. Well, definitely it's not.
Yeah.
But the fun thing is when you go in and you learn about your own aspects of why you do certain things that you're not necessarily proud of.
Right.
You're able to see below that surface on other people.
Yes.
And really going down deep into another person's behavior doesn't mean you excuse it or you allow them to manipulate you.
Right.
But it does mean that you can look at them through the eyes of compassion, but also have enough compassion for yourself to have those boundaries.
Oh, absolutely.
So looking at somebody who cries to manipulate to get what they want, go deeper into their energy, into the child energy.
Yeah.
Do you have people around you who are only available when you're in trouble? And if that's the case, we all learn how to get what we want. We all learn behaviors and how to get what we want.
Oh,
we all
yes.
do it.
Yes.
Right. So if that is the only way that was available for them as a child, is to either create trouble or be in trouble, then you can see how that carries over into adult life. So then you cannot take it as an attack towards you personally.
Right.
When that happens, you know what I mean? You can say, okay, I understand what's happening here. I understand. I see you. I understand why you're feeling this way right now. I can see that there is actually pain in your face. And it may not be what we think it should be for, but that pain in their face is because they're feeling powerless to manifest what it is they need in that moment.
Right. Absolutely.
But it becomes manipulative.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes. Because that's what they know. Ooh, my background just popped up.
I know. I'm like, you're floating, you're traveling right
Woo,
now.
I'm in the cosmos. I think it's, because we're such amazing beings. I think our emotions can help and hurt us, but it's not just that simple.
It's not.
We have to. We've come here to have those emotions and to feel. And I think it's so important for people to, for me right now, the ability to kind of transform and to work with those energies and just kind of either float around or go in through the dimensions or feel that other feeling is my personal thing, but not running away from what is going on here and now, and not hiding or closing the door from it. For me, it's always been a sense of address the issue and address the issue. And I know I'm stubborn. And I know personally that's always been my thing, but you can only see yourself and what you represent. But we so much want to see what everybody else represents and what everybody else is doing, wrong or right, because we refuse to feel into our feelings. And that's what we're brought here for, is the dynamic of emotion, the dynamic of the feeling.
Emotion's the language of the soul.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you think about it, when we're doing this work, when we're doing our spiritual work, it's more like, I feel like. But to me, I'm like, well, if you feel like that and you're not able to go into your own body and feel the physical, there's a separation.
Yes.
And that's the problem in the collective, is that there's so much separation and there's so much division.
Yeah.
Why? If it is as within, so without, where is the separation and division coming from? It all started with the universe saying, I want to know myself, and therefore creating separation from everything else in that it sees itself as itself. But now the separation has grown so far apart. The universe is craving oneness and unity again.
Do you think that it's kind of come full circle and just done that journey and it's ready to be whole at the end of that now?
Yeah.
It's calling for its lift and its Uber. It's saying, come pick me up. I'm ready.
Yeah. Ready to come back home.
My voyage is done.
Except that it's created so much separation in us individually.
Yeah.
It's not even close to happening.
It's so scary for me. I'm just replying to a chat here. It's scary to me how much it's not, and it used to be so very frustrating, But it's amazing how much we talk about unity and togetherness and the collective community, but yet we're doing the opposite. It's absolutely the other, that we polarized it and been like, we're so opposite. The same with the thought of, oh, we can express our individuality, but I don't like you going that far. And I think it's the ability, to go back and say, hey, if that's what you're saying, listen to what you're saying, to what the words that you're speaking, because that's where you need to go within and be like, whoa, what am I missing? What am I ignoring?
Just where do you see yourself different from other people?
Absolutely.
It's in the moment that people realize that we are one with everything in this universe.
Absolutely.
Which includes the bad and the dark and the negative. And if we can see those things within ourselves, that is why there's separation. Nobody wants to see those things within themselves, but they exist.
No.
And it's when we can see those things within ourselves that we can then actually be one with everything. This is why I have so much frustration with all the political stuff that I see on TV. It's just it's maddening sometimes.
They're separating, and it's almost like, everybody's out here yelling and screaming that all this is going on, and they're bickering back and forth, but nobody wants to look beyond that.
No.
Nobody wants to look at what's going on behind the scenes. And my hope is always that behind the scenes, that good things are being done, and that this is the drama in front, so that the work can be done. And even if you look at it from kind of a conspiracy theory, they've got to have that front and the play in front, and just the characters in the back behind the scenes are doing all this major work, scrambling to get the costumes and the lighting correct, and doing all this behind the scene. They couldn't do it if the people weren't on stage doing it in that form. And it's, for me, the other thing, having experienced, is if you're doing, you in order to infiltrate those people, even if you look at kind of Sun Tzu, in order to infiltrate someone else's army, to kind of crush them from the inside, you would have to be and act like the person in the opposition. And so you can kind of infiltrate in them like a spy, do their thing, and then crush them from the inside, and allow the good side to kind of do its work. And kind of, coming from the outside. And it's just, if you're looking at it that way, it's almost like, it has to be done in the back. And I'm looking behind the curtains all the time, looking for the Oz, the great Oz in the Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain, pulling on the strings, like, hey, really, let it be revealed. And I think that's part of it, to me, is letting it be really revealed in its own way, instead of forcing it, because we are so worried over here on the left side that what's happening on the right, we're not looking at that, and we're just battling here. And you're not looking at that thing. Or even as a husband and wife, you're so busy watching the kids battle, or go to school, or do their thing, or do their extracurricular activities, or taking them to the park, that you don't spend time with the person that you first fell in love with, and that your partner, or that person that you're with, because you're avoiding them. And now they've almost become kind of a partner in pain, because now you're both allowing that pain, or that sadness, or whatever to occur, or avoidance to occur, instead of working at, how did you two love each other, and how did you become one? And you're allowing those kids just to kind of take over that. And I'm not saying ignore your kids, but you need self-time and love time, and you need quality time with your other half. You need to be with that person, so you can continue to grow and love and plant your seeds within the world.
Just stay connected.
Absolutely.
The crazy thing for me is, as somebody who is able to go into the observer mode easier, I guess, than the average person, I suppose. How much division is being created, and it's happening through free will.
Yeah.
It's not happening to us. We're all choosing to be this divided.
Yes.
Because of the propaganda that we're fed. And that to me is the scariest part, that we're so willing to be divided.
And to give it up. And I think that people need to go in and really see what is their truth. Is that, feel into that? Is that true? You know, when you're going out and the people that you're with, now is the time more than any other time, is to really go in and be like, you know, to address, is this the truth for me? Is this right, what I'm doing? Am I in that activation mode? Have I gone from victim to survivor, and now I'm the activist because I have to retaliate upon all these people I feel hurt me, or these people that can possibly hurt me?
Well, if you go into, so a lot of the activists are like the generations after us, right? Because we're old. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, if you look at the shadow aspect of it, I see a lot of kids who are just yearning to be a part of something.
Oh, yeah.
With no real guidance.
You know, and yeah.
It's like the blind leading the blind a lot of times.
It is.
But I mean, I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings.
No.
But it's just,
I think it's time to open up.
Yeah.
And you're not telling, we're not here to tell you this is how you have to do it. This is our experience, and this is what we've experienced as healers with others.
Mm-hmm.
There is no time like now, with the energies that have presented themselves, to really grow.
Yeah.
To really prosper, to really be in your beautiful, loving self, be in this body and soul combined. And this is what we've been talking about for many years, whether you've been doing yoga or meditation or anything, is to help others find that oneness and just prosper through that. And to understand that. But I think it's very much, and I know because I've done that. I've looked for a family. I didn't have a family. There's many times where I was raising myself for days, weeks, and months at a time.
Yeah.
There are times when I would leave home and just kind of go and find a place or squat somewhere and just crash at someone's home, because I was so desperate to find a family. Whether it was a family of people drinking, or whether it was a family of, young kids, or it was a family of my next door neighbor whose mother cooked great food and had a clean house, and I could crash somewhere.
Yeah.
But I would take it anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was so desperate to do that, to join that peer group or that gang or that position and be like, hey, this is my family, because my family wasn't there. And
so as a child who's searching for a place to belong, when you don't have a real clear understanding of who you are or why you're seeking this in the first place, it's very easy to get it sucked up into things that you don't have real clear understanding of.
And especially when, you know, you're 16 or 18 or something, and you're just, and I feel you guys, and I hear you, because I know what that's like, and that moment's like, and
Yeah.
that drive and that passion and that yearning, to be part of the group, to be part of that certain collective, and be recognized, and finding your voice. I need, for me to come to this point where I have a podcast where I'm sharing with other people, and I'm podcasting on a station on Oneness Talk Radio, where I'm have the ability to share my voice. And it took me a long time to say it because of how I was speaking. It wasn't that I was saying that I was hurt. It wasn't that I was saying I was ready to open my heart. It wasn't that I was saying that I didn't like, or I did like something. It was the way that I articulated it. It was the tone of my voice, and the learning the ability to speak to people's hearts, or speak people's love language, if you will. You need to speak to the person. If you want to make changes, you have to go to the person where you, or the people that you need to make changes with. And I don't mean to disguise yourself or lie about who you are. I mean to go with your honesty, your truth, and find a way to articulate it. You know, it's like going to a store. Let's say you want to go buy some beauty products, and you walk into the store, and how does that person approach you? How does that person talk to you? It's customer service in a different form. How do we talk to one another? And we have to have that. And people give that to you, or their heart, or open up to you, or become your friend. And that is really important. It says my connection was lost.
Yeah, I froze a little bit.
Okay, did you? Okay. Because my connection's back on. All right.
Okay.
But I think it's very important for people to understand that you look at where you're at and how it's affecting you and other people. Look at past tomorrow. Look at past in the next 24 hours, in the next 3 days. Is this still going to make sense? Is this still going to be right? Is it going to be right in 30 days? Am I moving along in my journey prosperously, or am I leaving trash behind on the trail? You know, just, or little breadcrumbs so people can find me. I think it's really important for people to see that. Start to witness around you what you're doing, what you're creating, and what other people are creating for you. And are you giving it away to people? You know, you're just willingly writing a blank check to people and just hand it here, cash it with your life. You know, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, to live this life, and for me, learning to live life and be in the moment. Because I mean, for me, I've dealt with, you know, other side, or otherworldly beings, or the darkness or the light, and going into the dimensions, and I can easily go up and move into that other realm or anything. But it's so fantastic to live the life now, here and now. And it's rewarding.
Yeah. How so?
Well, it is rewarding because I have friends. It is rewarding because my heart is open.
Right.
It is rewarding because I can move around, and I can love, and I can see around me. My eyes are open in a different way, where I'm not seeing the dust and dirt in front of me, where I can smell the flowers.
Yeah.
Where
You're
I can
clear.
always come back to that. Yeah. And that's a clear path. We are at 9:49. Can you believe we've got about 5 minutes left?
Yeah. Happens quick.
It does. Talking to you is amazing. And thank you
Always.
for sharing with me these beautiful moments with people, and being live here today. And would you ever have thought I would have gone live and just been like, oh, Nicole's got a show of all people?
No. Well, yes, I can. actually.
But I mean, when you first meet me, it's like, oh yeah. I mean, years ago, and just being like, don't bring the camera out. Don't put that on. I gotta hide.
Yeah, but that was the surface.
Yeah,
Below the surface, and you see a different person.
you do, because you always look in. Where can people find you, Selina? How can people reach out to you?
I have a website, IndigoMoonMystic.com. I have my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are all Indigo Moon Mystic, but I really am not enjoying social media at the moment. You can email me at selina@indigomoonmystic.com. And then I have a YouTube channel, Indigo Moon Mystic. Yeah. So I want to share one more thing.
Go ahead, please.
I pulled that blind spot oracle for the collective this morning. And the energy and the blind spot in the collective, the shadow moment in the collective is inauthenticity.
Mm.
And I'm not saying that the current life that you're living or the current energy that you're sitting in is the inauthentic part. It's more so of finding like for being a healer, an important part of being a healer or a spiritual teacher is first understanding, why do you want to do it?
Mm.
What does it? It's like, yes, obviously we want to help people and obviously we want to teach people. But what is that shadow aspect of it?
Mm.
Is it that I don't feel powerless in my life, so I need to find having that power from being able to teach people? Is it because I feel so alone in my life that I know if I help people heal, I'll always have people around? Is it because I want to be loved? I feel like in everything that we do, if we can do that, if we can be that self-aware, we'll be able to be more present and understand that, yes, I want to be a healer so that I'm not alone. It makes me feel good to be able to help people and not have it be such an unconscious thought. It's like, I want to help myself feel good. And in feeling good, what makes me feel good? It makes me feel good to help people have realizations. It makes me feel good to help guide people down the path that they're not able to see yet. And having that be a conscious thing rather than an unconscious thing is just so much more powerful.
Absolutely. So well said. Such a way with articulation you have. It is beautiful to be with you. And thank
You too.
you.
Thank you.
And all Selina's links will be on the YouTube, and I will put them in the Facebook as well. So when I repost the video later today, you can look for that and reach out for you. Otherwise, just look on her Facebook page. And it has been an honor to share this time and day with you, Selina. Thank you so much. And guys, one thing I want to propose is I will be taking email questions. I'll read one question, maybe three on the show, depending upon the time. So if you want to send it to IlluminateVegas@gmail.com, and the tagline will be psychic, and your question will be read on the air. Don't forget to visit my sponsors on the Oneness page. They help support this so I can bring this free information out to you, because this community is so beautiful and so loving. Thank you, Selina. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
You've traveled through the realms within. Thanks for listening to the Soulful Illumination Show with your host, Nicole Borghi. To connect with Nicole and learn more about her Illuminate profession, find her online at IlluminateVegas.com and book a free discovery call today, or find her on